Excuse me. I was just wondering if, when it got to my turn, that you might skip me. I just prefer it if... I just don't want to. It happens all the time. Let's take turns reading around the circle. Always. Let's take turns reading around the circle or class or whatever. That's when my heart just starts racing that much faster. And then my palms will start to sweat and I think to myself, who out of all the people in this room is going to judge me the most? That's just when I go to drama groups or extracurricular activities, but it's even worse in class at school. Whenever I asked how to spell a word, my teacher would say, look it up in the dictionary. Well, gee, I would if I could look it up in the dictionary. Every year, I get a new group of teachers, and every year, I have to keep re-explaining it. But you know the worst ones? The ones that, once I've already explained, would say, oh, that's fine. I've taught a student like you once, 3 years ago. They don't get it. From one person to the next, it's completely different. My friend Michelle, for instance, she can play the guitar, violin, keyboard, and read the thickest books I've ever seen. But she can't articulate her thoughts coherently. I have no problem expressing myself. I can say the words and use them correctly, but I have difficulty reading them and writing them. We're different. And it was mostly difficult in year 1. Yes, miss? Do you remember it now, Julia? No. Back then, you learned things by rote. Time and time again. The same thing, over and over. Wait, what was it? Look, say, think, cover, write, check? I don't know. It never seemed to work. It never seemed to work out for me because every time I looked back at the page, I got just as confused as the last time. Then years later, I was planting a tree with a year 1 student as part of my school's buddy program. There you go. Now all you have to do is write your name on the tag and attach it to the point. No, you can do it. There we go. Now what's the next letter? Well, then write it down. I was in year 7 and I had to get the year 1 kid to do it themselves. Then one of my classmates shows up and says, at least you can write it. She's Dyslexic. Wait, D-Y... Yeah. Well, I am. I still remember being told, a disorder of the brain. Great. At least now I know what it is. I have a disorder of the brain. Shit. So it wasn't until year 8 or 9 when things started to click. Not that my dyslexia was improving, but because of the strategies I began to develop. You kind of have to work your way around things because that's an example. Here, let me show you what I've done. So, Betty eats carrots after Uncle Sam eats. I'm 16 and this is how I know how to spell because. Betty eats carrots after Uncle Sam eats. Every time. But if I forget the rhymes, then I'm stuffed. I'd say the hard part about having dyslexia is trying to spell something really simple. I'll show you what I mean. Well, you know what this is. It's an orange. I know what it is. I know how to use the word. Like, it's an orange and it's orange. But spell the word, write the word, I can't do it. Another difficult part is seeing people's reactions. Seriously? You can't spell that? People are shocked at how little I can spell. Look, I'll try and spell orange. I kind of have to picture it in my head. Sometimes it doesn't work, but... Orange. Okay, I'll never be truly confident with this, but... O-R-N-G-E. I don't know, is that right? There's an A in there. See? I have no idea. I have no clue, and this is my everyday. Seriously, to get thinking about bringing in the word though. Two, T-O, two, T-double-O, and two, T-W-O. I have no hope with those. And on top of that are all the rhymes I have to remember. Every single sentence feels like a marathon and it is so tiring. And on top of that, I have all the other normal things that teenagers have. I have family issues. I have vanity. I have friends. My friends. Some of them think that because we all know it's dyslexia, I should get over it by now. Whenever I have to ask them for help, and this is especially the boys, they don't help. They do it the male fix-it way. But them doing it doesn't even help me do it, and then they say, keep trying, you'll get it. They don't understand. Just like all the teachers who think they know what I'm like because they once taught a dyslexic kid. Then my mom keeps pushing me, and I say, don't, Mum, I don't have the energy. She says, why don't you take the extensions? Teachers always give me extensions, but I don't want the extensions. Mum, I don't want the extensions, but it'll help you, she says. I don't want help. I want to get good results and, work hard at the same time as everyone else. I just don't want the extensions. Why don't you take these allowances? Because I don't want their pity. I don't want any help. I don't want different standards, and I don't want the extensions. I just want to be normal like everyone else. My mum and I have spent my whole life trying to fix this thing. But recently, we've changed, saying that it's not what I have, it's me. So, I'm managing it now, and just trying not to get too exhausted, and just trying to be the best me I can be. And in a way, I guess it feels alright, knowing that I'm unique in a pretty fucked up way. I don't want to make a fuss, but I'd just rather that you'd skip me when it got to my turn.